Hey, Acers. So I didn't think this was coming till tomorrow, and I think the shutdown of the air traffic this last week contributed to it. But shipped by FedEx to my house today from Pinnacle Entertainment. This is truly a true unboxing. I admit my last couple unboxings has kind of been a half truth because I was so excited to get them. I just couldn't even not open the tape. But in this case, this is opening the tape. So my tape opening tool. Cutting the tape. Down the spine, down the center. There it is. I forgot that I got the signed version. I thought I got just the... Oh, this is cool. Because I knew I went all in, but I didn't realize I'd forgotten how deep of all in I went. This is the Holler. Oh, and this is the really nice. Tim Early signed it. This is so cool. Okay, so the rest of this is, it's in here. It's its own thing. And this is the Holler, which is Appalachian horror. And there's artwork in here that's really cool. Of course, the gear and the other stuff. And it talks about life in the Holler. This is, of course, a faux leather volume. I mean, I thought I'd only gone for the basic model, but I'm glad I actually sprang for the signed version. Anyway, I've played a couple Holler games so far, and both of them were in Halloween 1 and Halloween 2. I played a Holler game. They were both game mastered by Tim Early himself, and they helped me tap in. I played Jubilee. He's a blues picker, and I tapped into my West Virginia ancestry, and I got the accent right. I even did some real blues singing, and it was so awesome. And so I've had some really good experiences with Holler so far. Next, Map Pack 1. Next after that is, so that first one is the Speakeasy and the Textile Mill, because this kind of takes place in a 1920s-ish setting. The next one is Map Pack 2, and this is Requisition Yard and Wooded Valley. Sorry. Then, oh my goodness. Oh, the big Holler box set. I thought it was just going to be kind of like, some of the other stuff that I backed. I'd forgotten it was going to be in a box set. And there's something. Oh, it's heavy. There's a bag here. Should we open this now, or should we open this after we open the box? Let's open it now. So let's untie this. Whatever's in here, it's heavy. I'd forgotten everything that was going to be in here. Oh my. There's a set of 5 Holler conviction tokens. Oh my, and that's really gorgeous artwork. It's the same artwork that's on the cover, but it's gorgeous and it's heavy. I'm going to go ahead and open these up and show you what a single one looks like. Okay, so the packaging didn't need me to whip out my opener again. And conviction is one of the setting rules in Savage World. And so it doesn't come into play all the time, but it's written on every basic character sheet. But conviction is basically it represents that something that really is going to drive your character, either a good thing or a bad thing, has happened. And it gives you a conviction Benny, which carries between games. I'm not going to let you take these home with you. No. But we'll mark it on your sheet that you have one, and then you can have it back the next game. And they say Holler conviction on the back. Anyway, so the conviction Benny, you spend it when your character's given an all for the gusto kind of thing, and it gives you an extra D6 to add to your attack and damage. Excuse me. So there's 5 of them. 5 conviction minis. And they clink together nicely. So that's pretty cool. Oh wow, that's really cool. I'd forgotten about that. So thank you, Pinnacle, for putting this in. It's tiny. It's only little tiny, but it says Holler on the bag. And those are my conviction minis. Okay, next. I am gonna get the opener out for this one, but I gotta be careful because I did this with my box for the essentials, and I ended up cutting the box. But if I'm careful with my knife, that should be all the cutting I need to do. I'm going to keep it out though, just in case I have to do more. And basically, the Holler is you and your team going around and fighting against the big boys who have taken over, and they're taking all the coal and the lumber and the ore from the land, and you guys are fighting back now because there's other things, other scarier things in the dark. And in my first one, I went up against Rawhead and Bloody Bones. That was awesome. I should probably talk to Tim and see if I can't get that adventure to run for this November. So good thick lid, and the market price on this box set is $110. Now, next step here is a map of the Holler and poster of a town, of a union town kind of thing, or of a big boys town. You can see what the big boys live in, the mansions, and then all the poor people live in just the rundown, or the company shacks, all the workers. Okay, next, and I'm glad these are still sealed because I'm not going to open them for a while, but the Pinnacle has really doubled down and really leaned into making these die-cut cardboard tokens. And these are handy because, as you can see, it's so flat, it can fit right in your box. And you don't get, you don't have to worry about racing around to try and find tokens when they're right here. Now, I did for Deadlands, I did punch them all out and put them in a like a toolbox, an art box thing. So that's the pawns, and they're great. I'm not going to open those right now. Let's open next the archetype cards, and these are all seasoned rank characters. And the very front one is Jubilee, my bluegrass picker. And my first time playing him, somebody needs to show me how to open these things without damaging the product. I'm not going to push too hard on this right now. But okay, I think maybe that might work. Get that corner up. And incidentally, I have been trying to get a scientific approach to getting an earworm out of my head. This is not fun. Okay. Okay, come on. Open for me. Look, I know that shrink wrap is a good thing on the whole. for keeping things tight together. But oh my gosh, I got to keep that balance of damaging my product versus getting to my product. Maybe that's a. Okay. Might have gotten it. Yes, I think I got it. Yay, I got it. Okay. Finally got the package, the plastic wrap open. Oh man, I still damaged the card. Damage. I thumb damaged it. Just picking at it. Risk the knife damage next time. Because now that it's open, I can just slide my knife right in and slide it along the back and not damage anything. But I totally picked at the side. Oh well. These are going to be played with a lot. But anyway. So the archetypes are the bluegrass picker. And his hindrances are haunted, pacifist minor, rather play the banjo than shoot the gun, and quirk, wayfarer. Positive there's got to be a way out of the holler and pursue that lead in any direction. So that's Jubilee is his name, and he's fun. He's my favorite. He's my favorite character that I had. His grudge is that the big boys crushed the people's spirits, prohibiting him good time and good music, and that was unforgivable. So the next character here, the archetype, is the Gouger. She is a hand-to-hand fighter, and she when she makes on our I'll kind of give you a little bit more on bluegrass picker. Sorry, he is attractive. He has the picking and grinning. He can work the room when supporting with persuasion or performance, and can assign it to any other ally within earshot or eyesight or sight. And he's got a little bit of fame. He's got a pistol. He's got a little holdout, little hideout, sharpened tuning fork, and banjos, his hat, mouth harp, pistol, and ammo. But yeah, he's pretty fun to play. I like Jubilee. I can't remember any of the other characters' names, but I remember Jubilee. So the Gouger, they don't fight fair. They fight dirty. They fight down and dirty, which is actually something from the South and the people that originally populated it, that were the redneck cracker people around London, that weren't in the major London area. They were around London. So people from Lower Scotland, people from Wales, people from Cornwall and Ireland and things like that. Those are the people that populated the South. And so down and dirty fighting, and even the concept, it wasn't called dissing, but the concept of dissing is very much ingrained in the South. So, the grudge of the Gouger, your parents were unjustly hauled away by the big boys, and you found your way into the brutal gouging circles, where you discovered you had a taste for and talent for the violence. You vow to free your folks one day if they're still alive. Your hindrances are that you're mean, you're stubborn, and you have a vow to kill, or a major vow, kin bond. So, to protect your family and free your parents. You have the Gouger, you have the martial warrior edge, and you're quick. So, and Gougers in this, they'll have a string of eyeballs and or in ears of what they've gouged out their opponents and stuff to show how really cool they are. Then you got your granny woman. Her grudge is that it pains her to see youngins in the holler plucked out of the bloom of their youths and thrown down into the mines and the mills, doomed to the same dreadful life as their folks. So she's elderly, she's hesitant, but she also has a quirk. She has the arcane background of folk magic. So there's your magic user. And she's brave. And she has some really good stuff here. And it also, each of these cards, the nice thing is since they're seasoned, it talks to you about their advances from novice level through their seasoned rank. So from novice rank to their seasoned rank. Anyway, the Holy Roller. The big boys Sacrilege has brought an infestation of demons upon this land, and I'll smite them out one by one. So she's arrogant, she's fancy, so that's her quirk, and she's got a secret. And she has an arcane background of blessed, which is similar to that of Deadlands. Um, she's a beastmaster because of her serpents, and she has a snake. She's also a healer and a champion for attacking evil creatures. The miner, he barely survived a cold. You barely survived a cold, damp explosion in one of the Bondurant mines. Your brother and a pastel of your closest friends weren't as lucky. You've since figured out some better uses for your mining pick and dynamite. You got a death wish. You're heroic and loyal. You're a miner. You're brawny. You have an iron jaw, and you also have the soldier edge. So that reduces encumbrance. Now, I, as a game master, am usually willing to swap that edge out because, frankly, I play fast and loose with encumbrance. Most games I play, I don't count encumbrance against you. But that is a level of realism you can add in because things weigh things. Things weigh down bodies. I mean, there's almost a 10-pound difference between me with clothes on and me without clothes. So, your moonshiner, nobody can tell you that you can't use your own corn and your own equipment out back of your own cabin to manufacture your elixirs of gustery and social delight. So you have a feud, you're stubborn and suspicious, have an arcane background, a moonshiner, and so that means you're distilling actually kind of has some sort of superpowers to a degree, some powers available. Um, you have connections with other shine runners, and you're a woodsman. So throw that down there. I don't want to fall over. The peddler. She's one of your trinkets was haunted by the spirit of a former Kramer Holt agent who liked to brag about atrocities he committed against the Holler folks. You never forget what he said, and you vowed to put a stop to the big boys and their lackeys once and for all. She's arrogant, greedy, and a heathen. But she can bolster, she's charismatic, and can humiliate and has a retort. The seer. If the company guards wanted to make an example of someone, your eccentricity and enraptured visage made you an easy target. But you continue to work the only way you know how to fight against the big boys lies in intolerance. And the big boys lies in intolerance. You have a big mouth, you're curious, and you're delusional. But you have danger sense, you're a faith healer, and you have an augur. So you can spend a penny to grant yourself and others within 12 inches of your rerolls to get some augur tokens to do that. The logger. You played your part in clear cutting the woods here. Clear cutting the woods where you grew up. Now you just a barren landscape polluted with blight and devoid of all memory. Your family woke up to the atrocities you yourself were contributing to. You vowed then and there to never chop down another tree. You have phobia, major, fire, vengeful, and devour. You have the edge of mighty blow, quick, sweep, and trademark weapon. So that means your axe is probably going to be one of the biggest things. Mountaineer. You love critters, but one thing you can't stand is invasive species of extranatural origin. You blame the big boys for these abominations. You're loyal, raw nerves, tongue-tied, and then you have an arcane background of folk magic, marksman, and woodsman. And then there's the curious youth. You practiced all spring for what you consider the most important holler custom of them all, the climbing. You were a shoo-in to win, but that big boy, so and so Royster Whitaker, got wind of it and sent his goons marching in to shut it all down. Now all you want to do is knock that Royster Whitaker upside the head with your lucky horseshoe. You've got a big mouth, you're curious, and you have young, which means you're at 14 years old. You only start with 4 points to spend on attributes and 10 points to spend on skills, but you take an extra penny every session. You're brave, you're lucky, and you have a lawn. And then finally, there's the tinker. You worked for a time at Ashdown Number 1, tasked with maintaining spinning weaving machines for the workers. Their mechanisms and construction seemed deliberately dangerous and beyond your control. Anyone who can dream up machines like this, is cruel and beyond imagining. You quit the mill and vowed to make Samuel Ashdown answer for his mechanical abominations. You can't hold your liquor. That's actually a pretty cool hindrance already. Overconfident and quirk. Talk to gadgets. You had the MacGyver edge and Mr. Fix-It. So that's a good set for a tinker. It'd probably be my second choice of character to play. So that's the archetypes. Next, we'll look at these real quick. These are the dice. Now, that space is mighty small. I might have to keep them in the bag. Ugh. But this comes with a full, even a D20, even though we don't use the D20 as often. Okay. I'm actually probably going to put them in my Deadlands dice tray. Let's take a look. Oh, there's a owl as the number 6. If I can get up there. Yep. So that's the 6. Because that's the highest number this die can roll. So that's the acing number. And I'm going to try to put him back in here flat. Because other Savage Worlds box sets have been easy to pull the dice in and out. They're easily accessible. And that's not too bad to put it back in. Oh, well, that's kind of a... So let's look at the bennies next. Oh, there's parts that pull out. And I'm guessing that's so you can put your Holler book in here. So, and they're still cool. They're pretty. I don't know what I'm going to do with these. But it still does not make the dice pouch any larger for moving things in and out. So let's take a look at the bennies now, which these are easy enough to pull in and out. And I will use the opener. Those of you that are curious, it's a CRKT Hisatsu folder. It's a very nice knife. I highly recommend it. 10 out of 10 would buy it again. Okay, so just open the chip stack here. Because, in Savage Worlds we use poker chips as bennies. Well, let's take a look at these. Oh, shoot. Goodness gracious. I already dropped some. Was it only 2? No, there's more. Oh, goodness. Me and my clumsy hands. There's 3 of them down here, I think. 1, 2, and 3. So there's going to be probably 3 or 4 designs in here. And that's the nice thing about the themed Benny chips, poker chips that come with any of the sets that Pinnacle issues. They have really cool backs on them. So they all have the Holler on them. And these ones all have like a cave on them. Some of the great artwork from the book. Then the next 5 all have, looks like people riding their horses away from a big thunderstorm kind of thing. And then so they usually do them in sets of 5 if they're going to have more than one bit of artwork on them. The next 5 have a barroom brawl going on, or a gouging fight. The next 5 looks Looks like a granny woman. And the final 5 have one of the forest spirits. Now, these chips, in and of themselves, um, I don't think they weigh quite as much as some of the other Benny chips that I've gotten from Pinnacle, but they're still well built. There's still a good weight to them. Each individual chip, I don't have a scale down here right now, but yeah, they weigh pretty nice. So let's go ahead and stick those back in the box. That big hole there, one of these turns sideways. Yeah, it'll fit right in, unfortunately. So, got to keep it from going sideways. Otherwise, I'm going to have to be shaking things out. Okay, so let's take a look at the action deck. I'm hoping that Pinnacle learned their lesson with the Deadlands action deck and put these ones on slightly thicker cards, because the oversized action deck that comes with the Savage Worlds Essentials box set is gorgeous. The cards are made by the same company that does the card stock for Magic the Gathering. It's a nice card. Unfortunately, the card stock for Deadlands action deck is about a millimeter thinner, and as it is a millimeter thinner, they're stickier too. So I'm hoping these aren't sticky, because, for those of you I haven't told yet, or you haven't seen a video of me telling yet, if I have told, I used to be very much into card magic. I was a professional magician for one night, and I've done card magic. I've manipulated cards, and bicycle brand playing cards, for the easiest ones to get a hold of, are the prime type of playing card. They have an air cushion finish on them. They fan nicely. They shuffle gorgeously. That's something you want in a card. A good, tough card that you can shuffle and things like that. However, like I said, the Deadlands set, which is gorgeous, I'm very glad that I own a set of the Deadlands cards. But they're sticky. They're not as bad as the stuff that Pinnacle had before. The stuff they had before was not nearly as good as even the Deadlands cards that are in the oversized action deck for that. Because that stuff was beyond sticky. It was glossy, and it really stuck to itself. You couldn't fan it, you couldn't shuffle it. It was just, made me go yoink, yeet. Because, I bought the Deadlands Noir set and the main action deck set and the adventure deck. And they were some of the worst cards I've ever handled in my life. It was like, ick. So, first pass. Good. Second, good. Thickness is the right thickness. So, they have some of the monsters from the Holler. And I'm not familiar enough, even though I've had the PDF for a while, I'm not familiar enough with the Holler to tell you what the monsters are. But they're pretty. This deck is one of the prettiest decks Pinnacle has ever made. I applaud you, Pinnacle. I am so looking forward to playing with these. It almost makes me just want to use them in regular play anyway. But yeah, the cards slide really nicely. Looks like diamonds are some of the heroes. There's the granny woman. I don't know. This might be one of the big boys. No, these are all heroes. I don't know who this guy is. But there's your Tinker. And there's your Mountain Man. And then down there. And then there... Oh, so Ace has some heroes as well. Oh, here's also a Mountain Man. and your queen is the holy roller, and Jack of Hearts is my Jubilee. Jubilee's my boy, and I will forever be grateful that I have found him. I helped. His original version had him being a clay chewer. Now I think that might have fallen out of the game, but it was kind of like a drug, and it kind of had because actually they found people in the Appalachians who who do eat the clay from the ground because they didn't know when they started, but it's got trace amounts of arsenic in it, and it makes them sickly, but they get addicted to it. So it's crazy, 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 crazy. And then the spades. I'm glad they didn't do the thing like a lot of decks do, where there's the gouger, anyway, where you get halfway through and it resets the order that they put them in, because like a lot of companies will put king, queen, jack, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, ace, and then king, queen, jack, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, ace, and then at that point in the middle of the deck it'll switch it to ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, jack, queen, king, ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, jack, queen, king. So that's nice that these are all kind of in that same order. And I love how smooth these fan and move across each other. Pinnacle, keep doing this. Keep making these just like this. So, yes. Also, Ace Role Playing Games, when Savage Universe launches, we'll be joining Savage Universe. We're going to make ourselves as much a part of the Savage Worlds network as possible. So just to let you know that that's coming. Okay, here's another set of cards, scene setting cards. I'm going to see if I can. There we go. Yay! Found a little tiny hole. That's all I needed. So okay. Throw that plastic away. Okay, next set. These are cards with scenes in them. The Ashdown Textile Mill, in a spinning room. I mean, these are. I'm not gonna show all of them to you because you got to get the set to see them all. But oh, the artwork is so cool in this. It's such a scene. Oh, these are gorgeous, and they stick a little more than that action deck. I would expect an action deck to not stick, and it doesn't. These are really cool. You know, Tent City, and there's enough places to go within the Holler that you'll never actually need to leave it. But then there's some bookmarks, and that's something that Pinnacle does with some of their properties, but not all of them. Okay, let's see here. Let's open this up. Yeah, they're bound with a paper strip. Probably a good idea for some of the other stuff too. Anyway, so the back of this bookmark is common states of things like distracted, fatigued, shaken, vulnerable, and stunned. There's a raise calculator on the back of this one. There's the 2d6 injury table on the back of this one. And this fourth bookmark has a haunted table on it. Haunted. Haunted. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyway, next down is the Game Master screen. Now, back when I was a kid and first got back into Savage Worlds, the Game Master screen was a 3-panel screen. And I'm taking a look to see And this also is a 3-panel. Now, as a game master, I do not game master behind the screen. I don't, or more, I don't roll behind the screen. And I'll talk to you sometime in a video about that. Now, one thing that I love about Pinnacle's Game Master screens is they also come with an adventure. So, here's the Game Master screen, and they used to stand tall, and now they stand wide. And it's got a bunch of good stuff here. It's got combat options and situation rules, damage, to just remind you how it works. Excuse me. An injury table, a fear table, reaction table, object hardness table. Like, for example, rope has a hardness of 4, so you have to do 4 points of damage to break rope. The hainted table is here, pushing through the otherness. And then Appalachian accent and dialect. Here, if you, and this is cool. Here's if you, and I'm probably sure it's in the book. Here are a few tips for adding an Appalachian speech to your table. Put the prefix in front of your verbs on occasion. I was gonna knock that sheep squatch on his noggin, but he knocked me first. Or hold your horses, I'm a fixin' to heal you. Or y'all, which is ubiquitous in the South, is yuns for in older forms of Southern Appalachian. You becomes ye, and an H, and add an H sound to it. Add an H sound to it, so it's hit. Y'all be adding an H sound to it. So that's kind of pretty cool. It helps you to game master the Holler. That's really cool. And the adventure that comes in the book with this is one called here it is. The Savior of Hollow Oak by my friend Tracy Sizemore. I got to give a shout out to her. She's awesome. She's one of the coolest people I know. She's a great game master. She's written some incredible stuff. And yeah, anything you see by Tracy Sizemore, get it. It's done. It's good. It's all good. It's a fixin' for a good time. That's what it is. So yeah, no, it's good stuff, or good soup, as one of my friends likes to call it. And then finally, in the bottom of this, which I'm not going to use as much because I've got the signed cool one. Oh, it's still got bookmarks in it though. Is the official Holler book, and just like the Savage Worlds core rulebook, it's $40. There's a piney. I've fought pineys before, but yeah, this is the same. This is the same book though, because it's got the same inside here. It just, when you turn the page, the black part doesn't have the cool Tim Early signature. But this book is going to be, I'll probably read this one or use this one too, just to, like, when I'm helping people to set their characters up around the table. But yeah, let's see here. They got a copy of the character sheet here in the back, which I'm just going to download because, frankly, copying it out of the book, that hails back to my very early days of role-playing gaming, and that was not a fun time, not a comfortable thing to do, and it was not easy because you actually had to go to copy stores and stuff like that. And these are actually what are they called? 162. That might actually be the adventure I wanted to run. But anyway, I played against Rawhead and Bloody Bones as well, and maybe if that 162. Yep, Tommy Rawhead and Bloody Bones. Baden Mountain Tunnel. It is in here. Good. So that's the one I'm gonna contact him and tell him I'm gonna switch to this one, because that was my first exposure to the Holler, and I'm gonna be running it this fall at Mythos Games. So that's Holler. So, and look, it's got bookmarks. Their bookmarks are gorgeous always. I just wish they'd singe the ends or like seal the ends off a little better. But that's okay. That said, on the whole, I'm very pleased with this box set. I'm excited to have it. I'm actually gonna, yeah, I'll leave that down there. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of put it back in show order. Maybe put these even back on top of all that. No, that goes there. Yeah, there we go. And this goes here. And then the bennies go back in. And it doesn't matter if they get mixed up in their order now or anything like that. They were in order at one point. That's all that matters. And that was mainly for counting. So there's 25 bennies here. And I picked up all the ones I dropped before. Okay. So those will hold in there. Now, being as it is the right size, maybe I do leave these out. And after I put back in, well, actually at this point, I can put in my special edition Holler. Will that fit? No, a little too wide, and I don't want to force it. That's okay. But this is going to be the one I'm going to read. It's the pretty one. And I really think that that's one of the best things you can do. When you get something pretty, use it. That's why my main book that I read is my Savage Worlds Core Rulebook, the pretty version. The only problem with that is I have beaten it up a little bit. And I'm sorry book. But on the whole, I have to say, this was a very good purchase. And this was a very good backing on Kickstarter. I'm glad I did it. Oh yeah, and in reference to the earlier thing, I did also. These are the Savage Worlds action deck that comes in the box, and I initially bought a second deck because my son sat on one of the cards and it was distinctly marked, but as it sat in its box, it's straightened back out. So I don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay. I'm going to put these in here, though. I love that clunk. That's a cool clunk. And then put all this stuff back in there. And it's probably going to sit a little bit before I actually get a chance to run it. And these will not fit in here. Okay. So, and the packaging was just perfect for the size of the box. Everything came perfect together. And yeah, this is the Holler. And I'm looking forward to tapping into my West Virginian roots, where that's part of the Appalachian country, and I can run this as well. But Tim, he is awesome at this. Well, he's actually from North Carolina, and he's got the right accent and everything. But I come actually from a place where there is, or my family, my great grandmother comes from a place where there's a place called Greenbrier, West Virginia, and there's a ghost story there. And actually, it was a case where the ghost helped solve the murder. And so, I mean, you can't tell me that's not good stuff. That's not good resources and stuff. So anyway, I'm going to post 2 videos today. This will be the first one, just with the unboxing, and then I'm going to do the regular irregular Ace report next. Talk to you soon. Bye. And remember, I love you, and we're gaming for good with Ace Role Playing Games.